and it's called the ARMA Crude Syntax Checker. If you run it, it just comes up like that. It's very simplistic, and what this actually does is doing a very crude check, syntax check on SQS files, SQF files, and SQM files, which are your mission files. And it can also be used to check files such as the CPP files, or really any file in general. It doesn't have to be an ARMA file. It can be any text file. It does not matter. But what it's primarily designed for is, I know a lot of people, when they, for example, with Excel, you upgrade from one version to another, you have to insert stuff into the file or take stuff out, or if you add a mod or something along those lines, it gets to be a real pain. You spend an hour or so putting all that stuff together, you zip it back up, put it on your server, start your server up, and it blows up in your face. And it just sits there and loops over and over and over. Come find out what's wrong? Well, unfortunately, most of the time, it's a syntax error. And what is it most of the time? There's a bracket missing or a semicolon missing, garbage like that. So what this does, and in about a second's time, you point to the file, it checks it, and it counts. That's all it does. That's why I call it crude. It counts the number of brackets or parentheses or the curly brackets and tells you if they're the same or if they're different. So, for example, I should have bracket, some text, a left bracket, some text, right bracket. So I got one of each. So in this case, it'll be 1 and 1, which means it's valid. Now, this is not checking the order. For example, I could have a right bracket first, text, then a left bracket. The program's just counting brackets. So it's going to be right, but it's still a syntax error. It would not run. So this is not absolute, but this is better than what we've had in the past, which is nothing. So at least this will count and tell you if your open parentheses match your closing parentheses, if your left brackets match the right brackets, which this should always be the case. As one extra special feature, it also counts semicolons at the end of the line. In the mission.sqm file and in the SQF files, each line is supposed to end with a semicolon. Now, due to a lot of variations and so many things, I'm not going to write and check every single possible combination. I check some, but not all of them. So that one's not guaranteed to be 100% accurate, but the brackets and parentheses are accurate. So I have this here, so what we'll do, we'll show you some examples. We'll start off here. We'll come on down here, and I have a SQL file we're going to open up called errors. And as you can see, the brackets are backwards in each one of these. However, they are there, but they're in the wrong order. And you see there's a semicolon after each line, as it should be. So if we go down here, click go, it's going to open up. Now it's going to default to SQM files, so if you want to open up other files, all you got to do is just put asterisk in there, hit enter, and it'll list them. So we're going to pick errors, and we open it. That's it. It's checked it. And it tells me I got one left curly bracket and one right curly bracket, and it tells me it's good. Same thing with the half open brackets. See, they're good. Parentheses are also good, and there are 3 valid lines. And there are 3 semicolons at the end, as you can see above. Good. So this works. But let's take so we can take in its SQF, as you can see right here. This one, as you can see, it's got some remark statements in here. Now, this program is looking for these type of remarks. It's not looking for these type of remarks. These will be ignored. So it will see each one of these lines as an actual line. So this one I'm talking about, this is not looking for every single possible combination that's possible in the program. So there will be some things that will be screwed up, such as this right here. It's not counting semicolons like this, because it's looking for the semicolon to be the last character. And in this case, this line here, the last character is an S, so it would fail. So that's what said the semicolons are an optional feature. So if we look at the net SQF, it looks good. So we'll just see. We'll come down here, put asterisk in, we'll double click it, and there it goes too. In this case, since it is an SQS file and it's a single line remark, everything is in proper order, as you can see. So it does work. So we close that one out. Let's go here. Let's look at the main menu. Now here is an SQS file. As you can see, it's got semicolons. Now semicolons at the beginning of the line in an SQS file are for remarks. This one's all correct. So we'll go in again. Do that, main menu, right there, SQS, open it up. It's all good. Notice this time there's no mention of semicolons here at the bottom because it's not used. So it kind of knows when there should be and should not be. So we'll go out. Now we'll come over to the mission.sqm. Now this is a mission file. Pretty much over here it is all over the place where semicolons should or should not be. Pretty much anything with a class that name, there is no semicolon. Also, this right here has no semicolons. So if we go into the mission file, and there it is right there, we say open. Now you see there's 1,215 left curly brackets, 1,215 right curly brackets. They match. 444 left brackets, 444 right brackets, no parentheses. But now you see down here there are 4,419 valid lines. They are 3,429 semicolons. Possible syntax error. Now this does not mean there is a syntax error. It says it might be. I'm not guaranteed because you got weird stuff like I said, like the class editor and the add-ons and so forth, as well as comments being at the end of the line. So that's what's it's a possible syntax error. So, it's just something for you to be aware of. Again, the brackets and the parentheses, which you really need to be looking for. Now, if we come to test one here, you can see this has got everything in here. So if we say test, open up that file. Now you see right here, it's missing syntax because right there, look, I got 2 open brackets and only 1 closing. As you can see right there. That's where the error is on the line right there. Same thing with parentheses. Right here, I'm missing a closing parenthesis as well. And see, it did catch it. There are 9 lines. You can see there's 9 lines here by the line count on the side. But there are only 3 semicolons, which are 7, 8, and 9. So it's saying there is a possible syntax error, which there is. Now if we take this one here, test USQM, same thing. Well, we'll go to, this is the file from the exile that goes in your mission file, the config CPP. And if we pull this up, again, we'll have to do the asterisk. There it is right there. Now if you look down at the bottom, you'll see there are 3,000 lines. It's very easy to insert something and make a mistake. This is what can save you a lot of trouble. Bam, it's done. We now know. As you can see in this case here, there's 1,038 left brackets, there's 1,038 right brackets, 210 square brackets, 210 right 10 square brackets, 288 parentheses on both sides. All of that's good. The possible syntax, again, like I said, is counting these lines as lines that should have syntax, and then things like this here. It's expecting a semicolon to be at the end as well too. So that's why it's a possible syntax error. But that won't get you in trouble. What will get you in trouble are the brackets and the parentheses. That's typically what hangs most people up. Semicolons at the end line will too, but I can't check for every possible combination. But this is still better than what you had before. But if you have a true SQF file written like this one here is, it will check it, and the parenthesis semicolon count will be correct. So this is it. This is the program. So very simple. It does work. Very easy. You click exit, it goes away. As with other files, there's a installed version as well as a standalone. Do try the standalone first. This is like a 35K program, very small. If you have to run the installed, do run it, but do not overwrite any Windows files. Do not do that. You'll have trouble, more than likely. You may even have to reinstall Windows if you do. Do not do it. Read the README file, which explains this. But if you have any questions, as before, reach out to me via the YouTube video, or if you find me on exilmod.com, contact me there. But if you got any questions, comments, suggestions, whatnot, feel free to let me know. Once again, thank you for your time. Bye.